Hello, welcome to the next in our loan officer series. I am Kobe Baker, CEO of Alderis Mortgage. I'm here with Michael Rodriguez, Senior Mortgage Advisor, and Gina Baker, CSO of Alderis Mortgage, Chief Sales Officer. Today, what we want to talk about is the mindset necessary for a loan officer to achieve great numbers in an imperfect world. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit today about how you two have worked together really to create a mindset that has allowed Michael to move levels of production not only from last year to the beginning of this year, but in second quarter having a knockout quarter, best quarter of his career. So what I'd like to do is kind of give our audience an idea of the mindset changes that you and Gina have worked on and how that's affected your business.
I think it's twofold, really. I think there's a component as far as just me being a loan officer, but I also think there's a component as it relates to my interaction with Gina and the coaching that she's been able to provide me. As far as the mindset for me, just as the loan officer, I think the biggest element for me is just really understanding the need to work. You know, having an open environment, having an opportunity to come in and have a set schedule where I'm able to make my calls, stay focused, that's crucial. But as you start to get loans in the pipeline, you start to get busy, you start to deal with the challenge of actually doing loans. And I think that's where the biggest growth has come for me, is just really understanding that as we work through the loans, I have to look at each loan as an opportunity to continue to get better in the process. And as we learn different things, because not every loan is perfect, you know, you can't get sidetracked by that. You've got to stay engaged in being able to say, look, I'm managing a pipeline of 10, 15, 20 loans. I've got to make sure if one goes sideways, I give it the proper attention, but we move forward. So really the key in that is just always understanding that you're going to learn with each loan, but don't get caught up in the weeds. And really, to use your metaphor to kind of close the point, is we want to win the game. So we may have 2 or 3, challenges with the loan in the course of the month, but if we're closing $3 million, guess what? We won the game, and that's really key, I think, for what we're talking about today, and just staying focused on the right things.
Right, and Gina, how do you take your approach when you're looking at that business from the outside? Because loan officers have a tendency to move off of, the main things that they should be doing. How do you approach that in bringing them back in a way that, they can really embrace and understand that it's in their best interest to stay focused on the things, stay out of the weeds, trust the support that's provided to them, and really understand that it's going to be okay in the end?
Right. I think it starts with mindset, because as a norm, loan officers are going to want to be problem solvers, and they're going to want to put their hands into everything that they see that they're needed for. But that isn't necessarily the case. Everybody that's been put around them is typically capable of handling a lot of those challenges that they're having. So having that mindset to trust that the support around you is going to take care of those things. You need to be focused on the things that are, and we have a saying here, stay in your lane. You need to be focused on the things that are in your lane, and continuing, like Michael said, to move forward. So giving the proper attention when it is necessary for the loan officer to step in, but then getting right back out, letting the rest of the team handle any challenges that are coming up, and you go back to doing the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis, because the second you step out of that role, you're losing ground, and you're going to have to work very, very hard to get it back. So keeping that mindset, keeping it moving forward, and only participating when it is absolutely necessary.
Now, Michael, you are, you came in and you came back to Alderis, like we've been kind of chronicling for everybody. You came back as a producing loan officer, so it's not like you weren't producing when you walked in the door. Can you tell me a little bit about how you came to the idea and to the acceptance that, you had somebody here working on your behalf? Because normally you're used to working on your business, in your business, all that focus is you. You may bring in a coach or something from outside. This is a little different. How did you sort of approach that process with Gina of letting her evaluate that business and trusting some of the things that she wanted to do with the business?
One of the key points, I think Gina's production as originating loan officer and really was key in just having that trust to begin with, because Gina had been through some of the battles. But just in our conversations, and Gina really taking the time to understand how I wanted to practice business, given me an opportunity to get comfortable in the system, just getting some loans under my belt, but then taking the time in our bi-weekly coaching sessions to help me to unpack and see different blind spots in my business. One of which was really just being a control freak. So anytime we needed to call out conditions, there was a borrower interaction, I wanted to have some sort of oversight on that. And Gina was kind enough to let me work through a few loans and then say, hey, look, do you think there's maybe a better way? And in dealing with me, being able to have it ultimately become my idea to
Right.
accept what Gina's sharing with me. But that was crucial to us being able to take what was just a good month and turn a good month into a great quarter. And I give Gina a ton of credit for just unpacking those elements with me and not being forceful, but really just giving me the opportunity to learn from what was available and taking that and moving it forward.
Right. Well, I think it says a lot about a loan officer to come in and be willing to have that exchange. And I think it says a lot about what you can do if you're open to the idea of allowing somebody else to help you unpack those things in a skilled manner. So obviously, best quarter of your career. We're about to close it up in a couple of days here, and we're going to be looking at next quarter because ideally we're shooting to make it better again, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
So we'll keep bringing you guys information. We appreciate you joining us. If you have any interest in speaking to somebody Alderis, Dan's information is going to be on the end of this, or you can reach us at Kobe@alderis.net or dan.mcnamara@alderis.net, 702-255-5783. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.